Once I have a full-time job, I will be relaxed. Thank you. You're welcome. The success of the school is measured by the contributions of their alumni towards the nation. A famous quote from Sir, anybody knows? Sir Kennedy. It's my pleasure to be here. It's been 10 years. I was in one of you, and it's my pleasure to be here and sharing my career journey with all of you. Little bit about myself. Okay. I have started my bachelor's in computer science. I am from India. I born and grew up in Gujarat. I did my bachelor's in computer science. And then, in my senior university, I have started my career journey as a professor. And I was teaching computer science students programming languages. After that, I moved to States and started my master's with our university, SFBU. I did computer science in master's. Here is my lovely family. I have a daughter, she's 7 years. And my parents, my brother and his wife, they are my support system. In terms of hobbies, I like to be in nature. Living in Bay Area, hiking, biking is by default everybody's hobby, and we have to be grateful that we are in nature and we can explore around ourselves. In terms of my hobbies, one of the things that I recently developed is giving the more of a volunteering services and helping more people based on my experience. That's all about myself, but I'm here for one mission. But before that, I have a surprise quiz for you. Don't be surprised and don't worry much. This score will not count towards your final grades. And it will be a fun game activity, I should say. So are you excited for this?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So this quiz is based on the reality versus myth check, the life after school. When I was doing my graduation, I had some myth that how the life will be once I will be in office. And I just want to check what's your myth and how we can check the reality. You will have 4 questions. The answer would be simple, true or false. The people who have joined over Zoom, they can write their answer in a Zoom chat. And people here, they can just share it out loud. Sounds fun?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 4 questions, so make sure you count how many rights you are getting, okay? So the first one that we have is, once I have a full-time job, I will be relaxed.
Oh. True.
No idol!
True.
I couldn't wait to get out of school, but once I got out of school, I couldn't wait to get back in.
That is true. So the answer is false, no doubt. Definitely we will be relaxed that yes, we got the job because that was our first milestone. But after getting a job, you are signing up for big projects and there will be a roller coaster ride. But trust me, it will be fun and worth it, okay? Ready for the second question?
Yeah.
Alright, so the second question that I have is, there will be no homeworks, assignments, and there is no deadline at work. What do you think?
False.
True.
False. You are right again. We do have a deadlines, and I feel grateful that the school prepare us to handle that situation that is coming next. The third question. No more weekend classes. I will enjoy my weekends. What do you think?
True.
This one was very close to my heart because every time my classes were on Saturdays. And I have to come on Saturdays and I cannot participate for some of the barbecue events, picnics going on with my friends. So I was waiting for this. But I feel really grateful that I choose that work-life balance with the companies that I worked with, and I was able to. So for me, it is true and it is doable that you can keep your weekends, especially for your personal life, and make that work-life balance. Now we have the last one. So final question for you guys. Now I will have more money. I'm working in the tech, I have more money, and I will make more vacation plans. What do you think?
Half. I'll make more money, but probably I'll not be no vacation.
So you will have
No
more money, but you
vacation.
will not have time. Okay, how about now? While before graduations, do you have more time to plan your vacations?
Not if you have kids.
Okay, there are many if, but, else.
Your money goes to the college education.
Okay, I'm getting a response on Zoom as well. True. Okay, so from my perspective, the answer is both true and false both. The reason behind that is we have to make the right balance. It's a matter of time versus money. While we are as a student, we have less savings. So planning the international trips or something, it's a challenge sometimes. But while we are at work, we have a limited PTOs. But still we have holidays and we have leaves. You can, if you plan your vacations well, you can still do it. So just want to share that the life while you are here, it's great, and even it's greater outside as well. So I just want you to be positive for both the perspective of your stage of your life. Now, the question for path towards success. I was a student doing masters in computer science. I want to be successful. And the definition of success for me is I want to be a really good software engineer at that time. I didn't think about a product manager at all. It was not in my dictionary. I did bachelor's in computer science, master's in computer science. There is no brainer that I am going to become a good software engineer. So while I was studying, the success for me is become a software engineer. And what I have expected is my journey should look like I was a hardworking student. It should be easy for me to be successful. But when I was looking for my first job, the reality is something different. It was something like this. And trust me, it is true no matter what, at which life stage you are in. Maybe you are looking for your first job, or maybe you're looking for a transition, or maybe a career change, anything. The path towards success has many hiccups, but it's a fun journey and we have to enjoy the process. As a student, my success definition was, I want to be a good software engineer. But I would like to ask you, as of now, as a short-term goal, what is the definition of success for you guys? If you are on Zoom, if you would like to share on a chat, that would be great. Or if you want to just speak up, if you would like to share, what is the definition of success for you? What you would like to become as your next goal? A product manager?
Yeah.
Okay, product manager.
Web developer?
The web developer, very nice. Anything else?
Retire successfully.
That's true, okay.
Supply chain strategist.
Strategies?
Supply chain strategist.
Supply chain, great, great. So the good part here is, we know at least our short-term goal, and we know that this is a definition of success for me. Okay. If you are really curious to know that how was my success journey was, how I have went through all the ups and downs, what I have learned, and what mistake that I made, you are at the right place. Throughout these sessions, I will tell you my story, how I transitioned with the different e-commerce companies, and especially what things that I should not be doing and what things I should continue doing. I'm just going to share that with you today. Ready for the story?
Yeah.
Great. Before we start, I just want to share that I'm here to share my experience with all of you. My intention is to help you guys, not here to promote any companies. And please take my advice with a grain of salt, because that's my journey and your journey may vary. Okay? It's time that I was looking for my first job. I was an international student, and I was looking for an internship role as a computer science student. And that is the most challenging part, because in United States, I want to get my first job. I have started first with a resume. Trust me, resume is your first impression. I highly recommend to create just one page of resume. I have reviewed more than 300 resumes throughout my journey. I have interviewed more than 200 engineers and product managers. Having one page resume helps a lot. During that time, for resume preparation, I still remember that I checked with Mariam ma'am, and she used to give me all the corrections. Priyanka, please use the right keywords. So ma'am, thank you for that advice. That was my phase during the time that I was preparing my resume. After that, I prepared my LinkedIn profile. Everybody knows that now this era, LinkedIn is a good platform to do networking, reaching out to recruiters as well as hiring managers. And share your profile, share your resume with them. Then I used to apply through career sites. So I have an idea that I want to apply for these companies. I just go on their career website and apply for the roles. This one was helping me out really well, the referrals. So I reached out to my friends or friend of friends or through networking, and I have asked them, can you please refer me for these 4 positions? I shared my job ID and my resume, and I used to get really good calls out of these referrals. So I highly recommend that. In terms of a preparation, by that time, I was talking about 10 years back, okay? I was referring to Career Hub. This time I highly recommend to go on the Lead Code. These are the books, if you are with the software engineer backgrounds and if you want to transition and get your first job as a software engineer, these are the 3 books that I used to refer. The one is Cracking the Coding Interview Questions by Leckman, The Data Structure and Algorithm by Robert Lafford, and the Complete Reference Java by Herbert. These books I highly recommend if you want to transition to the computer science, okay, as a software engineer. For product, we have a different books, that's why I'm emphasizing on this. So far, I was all set, but there were hiccups, but I faced the interviews and I got my first job. I was so happy during that time, but getting into the job, that was around 3 to 4 months process that I have, and that taught me many things. What it taught me was I should have a patience, reaching out to recruiters, not getting the response on time. I was desperate, but they are not. Looking for the jobs. Finding a job itself is a full-time job. Being an international student, maintaining the course, grades and everything, same time looking for the job is 2 jobs at the same time. Having the patience helped me a lot. The second one is a determination. You have to be determined that yes, I want to do this. Until that, I will be just focused on this piece only. If you get distracted, it is not going to work out. So I highly recommend just be focused, determined. Believe in yourself. I felt that at some point, we feel like, oh, it's not working out, it is taking more time. But believing in yourself, basically in your skills, it will work out. Just hang in there. And this one, I especially intentionally put it with the black, the failures. There's a dark phase in this entire process where, because we are emotionally involved as well, reaching to the last level of the interviews and after that getting failed. It's a definitely emotional breakthrough. But at one point, you will definitely crack there. So I suggest, please focus, have patience, and enjoy the process. And it's worth, every failure is worth, because every time we get some lesson out of a failure. So here I am at my first job, HP. Here is my talented and fun team. I'm here in the fourth. Here, during my time at HP, it was my first job. I was really excited. I want to do so many things. And what I have done I was meeting, Stanley, she was my manager. So I was meeting the expectations. Whatever she has, like, Priyanka, as on this role, I want you to do this. And I was doing whatever she was asking. So I was a good employee, like meeting the expectation. Same time, I was doing the networking. Networking, it means, is within a team as well as outside the team with the different orgs and everything. I was a good team player, and that was helping me out in terms of getting the visibility that yes, Priyanka is working on this area and things like that. So I really encourage everybody to speak out, do the networking once you join any company. So those were the basic stuff. That's what I think as of now that I was doing. But the mistake that I made, or the opportunities I should say, that I should have during that time was, I didn't set any high bar. I was completely low bar. The expectation was like, okay, this is what I have asked, they have asked me. I was delivering it. There was no plans that how I will get promoted, how I will grow in this career. The main piece of this puzzle was a mentorship. The mentor, that part was missing. And the other part was, I was super comfortable with my current role. Now, these are the mistakes that I made, and I feel that I had the opportunity during that time to work on this. But how will I get a clue that this is something which is missing? So the stage comes, and it's again the part of the process. So after HP, I moved to Amazon. So the question comes, how Amazon? I was super comfortable with HP, and I was not even pushing myself to grow much. Then how I landed at Amazon. So the situation was, in the year of 2014, HP has a major reorg, and they have to let go of around 350 to 400 employees. My position was, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, one of that. But I was 28 weeks pregnant by that time. So the first advice that I got from my friends, who are definitely my well-wisher, that it's fine, Priyanka, because anyways you will be on the maternity leave after 10, 12 weeks. You are getting the early break now. I say, yeah, that is true. Few advice that I used to get was, you will not get another job in short time, because anyways, you cannot hide your pregnancy. You are 28 weeks pregnant. I say, yeah, that is true. I was surrounded by the limitations that I can see. But I thought, let me give a try. What will be the worst situation? I will not get the job, right? But if I will not try, anyways, I will not have a job. So let me give a try and see. During that time, I used lead code for the practices. And I have going for the interviews. In first few rounds of interviews, it was pretty easy for me to crack because it was a phone interviews. Back of my mind, the fear that I had was, once I will go on site interviews, how they will react. Because now they will know that I will be on a vacation, I will be on a maternity leave in next 4 to 6 weeks. Who will give me the job? But guys, it was not the situation. It was a completely different situation. The first offer that I got was from Amazon. It was Thursday afternoon, I got the job. I was so happy. Next day, So on the same day, the recruiter mentions that, Priyanka, the offer will expire, or you have to give me your answer by Friday night. I said, okay. Friday, I had an interview at eBay on-site. I went for that on-site interview. At eBay, they have first asked me, oh, you're pregnant, by when you're due? I say, in next 8 weeks. Interview went well. By 5 p.m., I talked to a recruiter at eBay, and I said that I have an offer from Amazon, and I need to respond to them in next couple of hours. He said that, Priyanka, it's 5 p.m. Friday evening. Let me see whatever I can do. I said, okay. In next 2 hours, by 7 p.m., I have 2 offers. One is from eBay, one was from Amazon, and I need to pick one. I choose Amazon because that role was more interested to me, and I would like to pursue that. And I picked Amazon by 8 p.m. Friday evening. By sharing this story, I would like to share with you that please don't keep limited by your surroundings for any situations that you are in. Believe in yourself and in your skills. You can definitely get what you deserve. At Amazon, this one was the great opportunity that I was in. My life at Amazon was a little different compared to what I was doing at HP, because at Amazon it was fast-paced environment, and fortunately I got a chance to work across all the domains. There was one feature called as a station, that means it's a live radio. That feature needs to be launched for Amazon Music, and I was leading as from the quality front. So during that time I developed more of a leadership qualities. And by working across all the domains, I find out that, hey, I enjoy more of a product. No doubt, software engineer is my bread and butter. But while I was working on the product domain, I was enjoying more, like hearing about customer pain points, what features that we should have, what are the new functionality we should introduce. I feel like it is coming as my strength, and it's a natural flow that I have observed. And at some point, I find out my passion. But the mistake, the opportunity was still there. And that was, again, no matter. I'm emphasizing more on that because even though I have so much of force, but if I do not have a direction, I will not get the result. So the opportunity, or the mistakes I should say, is no mentorship. And another one was, while dealing with all this fast-paced environment and the product that I was definitely enjoying is, I struggled to say no. That skills need to be developed over the time. So if I didn't get chance, at that time I should learn how to say no, and I can make proper work-life balance. So that one was a learning out of Amazon experience. And my journey leads towards Quicken. Why Quicken? So I joined as an Intuit employee, and I know that I'm joining the Quicken group, which is going to be spin-off from Intuit in next 3 months. So it will be a comparison that working at Amazon versus working at Quicken. And I was super excited to start this startup journey to learn more. Here, my life at Quicken. This is not the picture of my team. This is my entire company. Yes. And here I joined as an Intuit employee. And then we moved, you can see the moving boxes and everything in a different building as a Quicken. Through this journey as a startup, what I have learned is I was wearing multiple hats. And again, I got a chance to be a product manager. During that time, I used to have calls with Quicken customers. So by the way, Quicken is the first product of Intuit to manage the finance. So during that time, I realized that making a relationship with the customer, knowing their pain points, and finding out what could be the solutions that again comes with ease as my natural skills. And I was more leaning towards to become a product manager. At some point I will become a product manager. But the learning that I have was having the customer first mindset, based on the rule, take full ownership of the work that is given to you. Leadership qualities that's basically involved how you lead the team if people are reporting to you, how you handle those requests, how you make them successful and make them as a leader. That is the most key for the leadership. But same time, and during that time I got promoted, things were working out well. But still there is a one thing, the spice, which was missing, the main puzzle. No mentor, and I do not have a vision that by when I will transition to product, or even I really wanted to be a product, or I'm just happy by seeing that, oh yes, product management is something that I like. After Quicken, my journey leads to eBay. With the eBay, I have one unique experience to share with you. It was a time that at eBay, our senior director, one of the evening, he set up a meeting 4:30 in the evening and said that let's regroup at 5 o'clock. It was quite unusual that why all of a sudden meeting, and it's an entire team meeting, that must be some big news. We gathered and we learned that that was a sudden 3% drop of active buyers on eBay. That means it's a total volume that we have for the buyers. eBay works with the buyers and sellers. So the buyers volume, it went down by 3%. And he said that as a team, we have signed up for the solution for this. So if you can think of anything, I'm here to support. We should have some solution to fix this thing. Meeting ended in just 10 minutes. Throughout the day, in the evening, I was thinking that what could be the situation, like how can I contribute? But I just joined eBay. I do not have a knowledge of entire ecosystem. So I don't know whether I should speak up, should I share my voice? I have no idea. By the night, I collected some thoughts that it would be great if we have this. We could solve by this approach. There were around 8 ideas that I have listed, but I was little hesitant to share with the senior director of my org. At the same time, the thoughts came, what if I will not share? And what if I will share? He doesn't know me as of now, but I'm just recently joined this company. Let me just share and see what happens. I sent an email with all these 8 ideas that from my perspective, these are the ways that we should be doing it. And I have CC'd some of the other engineering managers and respective stakeholders. Next day in the morning, when I opened my Outlook, oh my God, so many emails. They have added more other respective stakeholders to that thread. And the answer was, I like number 2, number 3. I like number 5, number 7. How about we do number 2 in the next sprint? Oh my God, what a response. I was not expecting this response at all. The day when next day morning when I went to the office, one of the product managers came. That Priyanka, I like your idea number 7. That was refer a friend. How about we have a meeting and we can work on it, and I can pick your brain, listen more from you, what's your exact idea, and we can see if we can do it. So this one was a product of it. eBay launched this product like refer a friend. But the thing that I feel really grateful and really blessed that at the time I make the right decision, and the team is there to support the ideas and motivates people like me who share their voice. At the same time, I would like to share with you that if you have an idea, no idea is small, just share it out and see how things work. So this one was so far my past of all the career thing, and now it's a time for the Walmart journey. And I must say that Walmart, that made my entire career foundation. Career transformation. And that's the best decision that I ever made to join the Walmart. You will shortly know why it's the best decision. You can see the first thing. I found my mentor. The first learning that I have at Walmart is, people usually say that, right? That don't love your company, love your job. But I would like to add one more line. Make sure that you have a right manager. I feel like the manager is basically representing the entire company. I was so grateful that I had a best manager when I joined Walmart. His name is Subramaniam Iyer. In my very first meeting, he told me that, Priyanka, we have a mentorship program here. I will be definitely here to mentor you as your manager, but I suggest that you should have a mentor outside of our org as well. I said, okay. Then he said that, do you know anybody in Walmart? I said, not much. Then it's okay, I will introduce you to another senior director who can happy to be help you for your mentorship. I said, that would be great. And that day is a turning point for me. Having a constant directions from a mentor, that helped me to find out what is my strength, what are my weaknesses, how can I shine in my current role, and how can I do above and beyond. I know I have a vision now, what I really want to become. I have started doing above and beyond than my current role. In one of the discussions with my mentor, I said, he asked me, Priyanka, what you would like to become? Then I said, I want to go in the next level in my career. I want to get promoted. Then he said that, okay, tell me what exactly you are doing as of now. I shared that I'm doing this many things, these are the initiatives that I'm driving. And I have asked him, what else I should be doing to get promoted? He said that, I feel like you're doing everything. Then I said that, okay, then next year I should get promoted, right? Then he said that, so you are setting that 1 year? I said, I'm doing everything right now. Do I really need to wait 1 year to get promoted? He said that, talk to your manager and see what response that you get. I said, okay. I shared with my managers that I strongly believe that I'm doing everything which is required for this role, and I really appreciate if you can support me for my promotion. He was completely agree with it, that yes, you are doing everything for the next level. I will definitely put you in the pipeline. Each company has a different rules and regulations for the promotions. Walmart, during that time, it was a rule that you have to be employee for minimum 12 months, 1 year, to get promoted. It was 8 months, and yes, I got promoted. Exception happens. But first, we have to believe that, yes, I deserve promotion. If you can't convince yourself, how will you convince others? This one was a major milestone that it broke the myth that I had. The rules are there. But trust me, if you can give a try, you can see the result. But if you don't try, then anyways, it's a miss, right? So I highly encourage, give a try. And I was lucky enough, and there is definitely luck involved there. I definitely accept that. The support from a manager was there, and my work was visible. So the project that I was working, that is more visible work. So I was fortunate by like so many things around me, but at least the best part was I tried. Another thing that happened with the Walmart journey is I joined Toastmaster. Yes. How did I miss that since so long? No idea. But it's never too late. As English is not my first language, living in States, going for the presentations and everything, Toastmaster helped me like crazy. Starting with the filler words to many things, and I'm still improving. I'm still in the process. Then, another part of, I continue doing as I got promoted, I have more junior engineers. I continue doing the mentorship now. I have a mentor. I see the value of mentor. So now I have more mentees as well, because whatever I have learned, I started sharing. Here is the main gist, and this part is so close to my heart, that my transition to a product manager. The thing was, I already proved myself by doing great in my role. I was waiting for the right time when I should become a product manager. But when it's actual the time comes, it was like, do I really want to be a product manager? Because it looks like the grass is always green on the other side, and I'm doing really well with my current role. Should I really need to take this risk? And why product manager? Like, what qualities that I love the most about product manager? It could be a program manager or maybe engineering manager, if I'm just looking for the manager title. So I was just going for my self-analysis, like hearing my own voice and finding out what exactly the passion is. And once I have decided that yes, I want to be a product manager, but from where to start? Like, there are so many materials available on web, tons of material, where I can start becoming a product manager. And if you see the role for the product managers, it varies based on the different teams, different company, different roles. So there are product managers who focus more on the business side. Few are on the product managers for the technical side. There are product managers who support more of the operation sides. So which one that I should pick? Because I want to set myself for the success. And I'm at the stage as a staff software engineer. And now I'm making a transition at this point. Oh my God, whether I'm making a right move. And I'm also blessed with a great manager, great team. So it was a big concern for me to make the right decision. And again, another point that I had was, even though if I decided I want to be a product manager, I didn't study at all like any MBA course or anything which can help me to crack the interviews. So far, everything was regarding coding, but now it's a completely different ballgame. Through my networking, I made more of a product managers as in my network. I reached out to them, get to know that what their practices are, how their daily life looks like. And at some point, I find out that what's my strength. I made the vision. And remember, I had a mentor during that time who helped me to find out my strength and design the vision that I should be doing. So now the picture is clear. I want to become a product manager. But now if I want to start within my team itself. I talked to my manager that I want to become a product manager, and this is a career transition that I want to make. During that time, we do not have any open role, job role in my team so that I can become a directly transition to a product manager. Same time, we have a hiring freeze, big reorg at Walmart, the product management side of it. It's not the right time at all to be a product manager. But remember the slide that I shared with you, the patience, believe in yourself. Everything is still applicable in this phase as well. So throughout all these challenges, even after hanging there for some time, there are few roles opened up within internally. I was so excited, okay, let me go for this interview, I should crack it, I should get the product manager job. I have applied for these interviews. I got rejected. I thought, okay, it was just the first time, that's okay. Applied for the second time, rejected. Third, fourth. I was not able to crack even a single round of the interviews. There is something which is missing. I had the mentor again at the time, but still why I'm not able to crack it. So the piece which was missing is, along with the mentor, I should have a study partner as well. And I need to study product management. going through the mock interviews, preparing for especially for the interviews to get into the product management. No doubt, I have a zeal to learn. I'm super dedicated that I want to be a product manager. But having a study partner, that was again a deal breaker here, who can help me to crack the interviews. While networking, I found a study partner at Walmart. I reached out to one of the product managers. I was just searching on Slack. His name is Kiran. I asked Kiran that, hey Kiran, do you have any open role in your team that I can just apply? Then he said that, oh, you are looking for the PM roles? I said, yes. Then he said that, would you like to be my study partner? I said, are you sure? You have 5 years of product management experience. I didn't even started yet. Do you think becoming a study partner would help you? Then he said that, if I share whatever I know with you, I will know more. So trust me, it will be a win-win situation. That was the day. Every day after work, we have mock interviews, more preparations together, and I have learned a lot. Now it's time that in next 2 to 3 months, I had open roles as well as the interviews that I have cracked, and I have to pick one which teams to join. And I'm so grateful to share that I have joined Sam's Club membership and marketing team as a product manager. And it's been 1 year that my first product is also launched as a Sam's Cash. And throughout this journey, it was tremendous experience that I have learned. But this journey told me that, again, having the patience, believing in myself, having a study partner and a mentor together can do anything that you're looking for. All right, so any questions, guys, here? Any questions? So we are at the last chapter. Just to summarize, and this is most important. Ready for it? Great. So these are the top 9 ingredients to be successful as per my recipe. So the first one that I have in the list is, you have to believe in yourself. If you can't believe, nobody else is going to believe, trust me. Second, find a mentor who can give you right direction to grow in your career. It's good to have a minimum 2 or 3 mentors as well. Always set a high goal. Don't settle for less. Fourth one that we have is sharpening the skills. It's a constant journey. You have to sharpen your skills. There is no escape for here. The fifth one is a social awareness. What that means is, just check to whom you talk, at least 5 people in your day-to-day life. You by default inherit their limitations, their beliefs, and you become that personality. Check what kind of Instagram post that you usually follow. Check your Facebook wall, what kind of news that you are getting. That all become, over the time you will evolve based on your social awareness. You have to check that. The 6th one that we have is for your mental health, meditation, gratitude, and affirmations. Start your day with the gratitude and affirmations. Make sure that you spend at least 10 minutes a day for a meditation. This one looks pretty simple, but it has a huge impact. The way you see the life, the people around you, and apparently the entire world. The 7th is take care of your health. That includes like 30 minutes of exercise. Eat well. Take care of your finance. The health with respect to different angles. The 8th we have is help others. Helping others gives a different feeling. You can't compare with anything. Just spend like 10 minutes, starting with the 10 minutes in a day. Find at least one person to whom you can help. After that 10 minutes, you will see the difference. You will boost your confidence and you will feel that you are worthy enough to contribute to someone's life. These help others could be like providing services just by providing some time, the talent that you have, or just maybe doing some donation. Who says that money cannot buy happiness? It depends how you spend it. If you spend for others, definitely it will bring the happiness on your face. The next one is, do not forget, enjoy the process. It's a part of a process, whatever the stage that you are in, and you will get there and be successful based on the successful definition that you have set in the beginning of the class. So now you have all the things, all the ingredients to make the recipe successful. I believe in you and I want you to believe in yourself. You have all the talents, what you are looking for. You are at the right place. SFBU is making you successful and providing you all the support. So just hang in there and launch yourself. Thank you so much for listening.
Priyanka, I have a couple of
Yes,
questions.
yes, please.
I am ready. So, as a product manager, first it has two parts. One is, what did you feel was the most difficult or challenging task for you? How did you solve it? Second is, what is still a hard nut to crack for you?
Sure.
And what are your plans for that?
Yes. So the most challenging part that I have faced was how to crack the interviews. The reason was I had the problem statement that we have this problem. I have an answer for it. But still I was not getting selected. So as a solution for that, what the approach that I took, I have reached out to interviewers once they say that I'm not selected. I have asked for the feedback. Can you please tell me that on which basis that you said that I cannot be a good fit for this role? I just want to improve myself. So I was open up for the feedback, the negative feedback. And the answer was, Priyanka, your answer was right, but there was no structure. And it is because you are coming from an engineering background. You know the answer, but the product manager requires a structure to present their thought process and everything. So the structure was missing. I said, okay. And then they suggested that you can also go through this 1 or 2 books that Decode and Conquer, and there is a How to Crack the Product Management Interview by Lackman. They suggested some books. Just read the book. Reading the book helped like to be more think like a product manager. But for me, the first thing was I need at least a small success that I crack the interviews. And cracking the interviews, introducing a structure is the solution. Going for the mock interviews, that helped me because I was listening to others' answer. So for mock interviews, I used to do the mock with the product managers within a Walmart. There are open forums on Slack as well to set up the mock interviews. So pmexercise.com, there is another many open free sessions that you can join and go for that mock interviews so that you can exercise the muscle to crack the interviews, and that's what I have done. And having a Kiran as my study partner, that helped me a lot because he was also going through the same journey, same interview process and everything, and that helped me to prepare for the interviews. And your second question was, what is as of now, like what I want to become next? That's what I think.
No, actually, my question was, thanks for answering that. But my question was more towards in your day-to-day work now, after becoming product manager. What did you feel that was the any decision that you made or any task that you had to do was very difficult for you? You were in like you were not sure what you have to do.
Yeah.
But then later on you find a solution for yourself. So it's more towards your work.
Yeah. So with my current role, as I mentioned that I launched my first product, so my first product baby is
like
out.
you already told that you had, that journey.
So after launching that first product, the challenge that I recently I am starting working on it is I joined And now I have a different product because the first product was launched and now is in a cruise control mode. So with the second product is a contact center product. So I'm a product manager for contact center. And the problem that I'm facing is this contact center has a dependency and connection with the entire Sam's Club. Now you can see that different channels, we are getting the values every month is $3 million we are spending just to run the contact center. Each call costs around $4.5. My goal that I have is how can I reduce the calls? But I need to understand the entire ecosystem. To understand that, I have enrolled for the training that see that I'm a advocate who is answering the call. So that is my first client. And I have gone through the entire training, understand that what are the pain points and how can I basically solve the problem. To summarize, to answer your question, you have to become a customer first to understand the product and their pain points, because many pain points are not even visible if you see by wearing the product management hat. And that is also applicable for my last product as well. I used to spend my hours at Sam's Club Concord, standing at the membership desk and taking the customers and answering their questions, returning that product. People feel like, oh, I'm working at Sam's Club, but I was just presenting, I was just trying to understand that what are the pain points that they have. And that helped me a lot, like exactly understanding what my customer problem is. With current team, that is most the challenge that I have because it's a big ecosystem. And in a short time, I have a steep learning curve to understand how the entire system works. Like returns is the main problem. So we are working on the solution, how to solve the type of returns and everything.
Thank you and thanks for sharing your journey.
Sure. I'm glad that it would be helpful. I'm sure that one day you guys will be here and addressing the audience about your success journey. That's what I will definitely wish for.
Thank you.
Sure.
So,
Any question? Yeah.
I have a question. I'm a computer science student now.
Okay.
So, how will be the technical interview process for an experienced person and an inexperienced, like a newbie in the industry?
So, first of all, the role that you are applying for, you should know that whether this role requires good amount of experience or not. So you should have a right expectation. Whenever you are applying for the new grad role, the expectation is pretty clear that the interviewer must know that you are coming with the zero experience as a industry experience. You are a new grad. So they set the bar just as a new grad. I have interviewed many, more than I should say 60 to 70 new grads. The bar is pretty clear. They do not have an industry experience. So nobody will ask you any questions that in which company you have worked for. No, you are the new grad. But what things that they will check is, do you have a zeal to learn? Can you accept the environment that that company has? It may be the fast-paced environment, or maybe adopting the new skills that you didn't work or never worked any project on it. Can you adopt the new change or not? And especially your confidence, the passion, the way you present, those stuffs are definitely going to be accounted. Another things that will check your soft skills as well as your technical skills, how you present yourself. Along with that, they will ask you a coding exercise and they ask like how you solve the problem. Again, it's okay if, even though if you don't run your code, there are some minor syntax mistake. There are majority of the chances it's not mandatory that your code has to run 100% and then only you will clear the interview. It's not like that. They see how is your approach, what kind of algorithm have you used. Just because of a missing semicolon, you're seeing the error and you're not able to execute the code. That doesn't mean that you will not go in the next round. But focus on your technical skills, your soft skills, and be confident and open for suggestions as well as feedback, and learn, show that you have a zeal to learn.
Thank you.
Sure.
Also,
Yeah.
I have another question.
Yeah.
How the GPAs work for an interview?
How, what?
The GPAs, I mean, other marks.
Oh, yes. So GPA, so here's the thing. I work with the recruiters, And I shared that here is a job role that we have in our team. We mentioned that what are the things that they are looking for. GPA will never play any huge role. I never said that the GPA should be about this or that. I never mentioned that. Even I have seen my peers, we never mention the GPA. But having a good GPA, that definitely helps. That doesn't mean that you don't worry about GPA. GPA definitely, having a good GPA will help, but it's more about your skills. How good you are designing the code if you're going for the software engineer interviews. They ask you that, can you just design this, compare these two strings, see that which one is a palindrome, not whatever the question they ask. Are you able to do that? What was your approach and things like that? But if you have a good GPA, that's good. But I haven't seen that GPA will play that big role.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
My question is, you emphasized the significance of having a good manager.
Yes.
How have you, so from your story, it appears you've had a lot of them, a lot of managers. How have you been able to manage managers who you didn't get along with well?
Yeah.
How did you manage their ego, their expectations, knowing that they weren't really the best definitions of good managers? How did you manage that?
So, getting it by default a good manager is a blessing. And I was fortunate that throughout my journey, I had a good managers. I got promoted 3 times in this entire, the different companies in my journey. Manager is there to support. But if your equation with your manager is not good, I highly suggest that change the team, change the manager. It's okay to change the team. These days, companies usually motivates people. Even the talent goes outside of the company, it's not a good sign. Because you joined the company invested like 3 months to bring you on board. If you leave the company, it's not a good choice for them. So they usually prefer to retain this talent, the time that they have invested. So they would encourage a lot for you to check with other teams, because the equation that you have with your current manager, if that is toxic, then it's good for you to change the team in same company and give it a try. I have seen many of my friends changing the team, and even the current manager supports that to changing the team. But in that equation that you mentioned, if the manager is not supporting, you can still approach to other managers and share that I'm not in the good relationship with my current manager, and I need your help to make the transition to your new team. And usually in whatever I have seen around myself, doing the internal transitions is not a big deal. Yeah. But change the team. If current manager is not helping you out, it's a red flag. You have to change the team. Yeah, ma'am.
I just wanted to mention along that line that when they hire somebody and then that person in less than 6 months wants to move on to another place or another because they're not getting along. And you said it's not okay for the company.
Yes.
And that's true because they're losing a lot of money.
Yes.
A few years ago, we did a study to see how much does it cost to actually hire someone on average. And at that time, it was $224,000 per person.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand that? Because the company, on the surface, you're seeing, Priyanka is the manager, she's interviewing me, I'm the applying person, I go there and that's it. But it's not that.
Yeah.
It's just get the rec and you have to advertise it.
Yeah.
All of those things, and then your time, the team's time.
Yes.
But it racked up to 200 mark. I'm sure it's more than that now.
Yes.
But it was shocking. We were totally shocked.
Yes, yes, and that is true. It's more of a time investment, because bringing somebody new, interviewing, going through the entire interview process, it's a stressful journey for a team as well, and also for the manager. So they usually try to retain the resource that they have. Yeah.
I think that also includes the first few months of training.
Yeah.
Helping the person to, be able to hit the ground running, know the culture, know the system, know the process. Every company has different process.
Yeah, every company has a different process. I have gone through many orientations, and what I have observed is people around me are so kind. I haven't seen that, oh, you joined like 1 week back and now I'm expecting this much from you. It was never been the case. I got enough cushion around myself. I was in a comfort zone in a way that I used to ask so many silly questions, because I know that if I will not ask right now, later on, if I will ask later, they will say, oh, why didn't you ask on the very first stage? So even I highly recommend that when you recently joined any new team or any new company, ask why you are doing this. And even they appreciate this type of questions, because you are coming with a fresh mind, getting the extra pair of eyes on the new system. It's a good feedback that they will also get.
Yeah, Priyanka, I really appreciate the presentation. It was great for all of us and also the student here. What I noticed is you're very energetic. Like you have unspeakable inner power. Like with your success, I think you drive yourself. Even though you gave a lot of credit to your mentor, your manager, your surrounding, you're lucky, you're blessed with the environment. But I think you also jumped, and instead of taking a leisure walk, I think you also has such a goal that you try really hard to strive to that excellence. So what motivates you? And also you mentioned you have a few mentors. I couldn't more agree than that. But when you have a few mentors, have there been any situation that those mentors' advice sort of having a little bit of conflict? So how do you pick with the grain of salt?
Absolutely, really great question. So over the time, what I have learned is, if I want to grow in my career, in my current role, I should have a mentor in, for example, product manager. So what I want to become like as a next. So I want to become a product lead. So I think like a leader. I read like whatever the leaders are reading, and whatever the environment that they have around themselves. I want to set the same environment so that I can become the way they are, especially for the thinking process. So as a mentor, I'm open that everybody has a unique personality and they have their own beliefs. It's up to me which advice to take. And especially now, I'm at the stage that I'm not starting with a zero, I'm starting with a really good amount of experience. So I'm open for their feedback, but at the end, I'm at the stage that I can choose that this one is a good for me and this is not. So, and again, they are also open in a way that they provide their suggestions. It's up to me how I take it. Do you have, that was your first questions. What was the other question?
How do you drive yourself to continuously learn? Like you have skill to learn and skill to be, advancing. So I'm thinking, do you go to workshop, take classes, self-practice, read books?
Yes. So we can have a separate session on this, that much deeper I can go. But in the short answer, remember I have the answer, the social awareness. So I make sure that to whom I am speaking, my time is really valuable. And I'm making sure that it should be utilized at the right place. In a day, I'm making sure that I have a kind of a morning rituals, evening rituals that includes the meditation, affirmations, and gratitude. I'm talking to the people who doesn't give me their limitations and even motivates me to go to the next level. Like my mom and dad, they always see that my daughter is a like shining star. I have a very close friend. We both are in the same journey. So I'm counting her like she's my accountable partner. Like we are making sure that by end of this day we have this. So whatever the milestone that I'm grateful that I have friends around me and very close inner circle that I have. And that is basically giving me the energy. Sometimes you need only one person to say yes, because internally you also know the answer is yes, but you need only one person to just be agree with. And that inner circle that I have, that is most valuable to me, and I feel that that is constantly giving me the energy to go further in my journey, whether it's a spiritual or maybe whether it's a career or maybe it's a financial or any area of my life. So social awareness plays a huge role for me.
Thank you.
Yes.
What's your suggestion for students, for MBA students who
MBA.
don't have any engineering background, any technical skill?
Yes. So for MBA students, I would say that after MBA, you must have an idea that what you would like to become. As a master's in computer science student, as the success definition for me, it was I want to be a software engineer. You might have that goal, like at least a short-term goal, what you would like to become. Take that, for example, I have interviewed many MBA students as well for the product manager interviews. They are also applying for business roles as well. Even anybody coming from MBA to software engineer, any background, this is applicable for all. Find out what is your passion, what is your strength, and also know what is your weakness. Finding a weakness is also the really good key. Put everything on a one page that this is my passion, and find a role that basically matches to your passion. Because even if you spend ideally we usually spend like 7 to 8 hours at work, but even though if you spend 10 hours, that extra hours will not bother at all if you work towards your passion. Put everything on a one page and find out which roles is open for you. It's okay to be picky even though you are coming with a zero industry experience. Because once you land into any job, changing the job, it's not that easy, because finding a job itself a big task that you are signing up for. And at the same time, you have to maintain your current job as well, current job expectation and everything. So if I would be at your place, I will find my passion, strength, weakness, which role is open for me that I can be successful for that. I will apply for those roles, and I will wait for the right time. Don't take any opportunity comes in your way and just take it and start working on it. I will not do that. Sure. Any questions on Zoom? Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, but you were going to talk about EQ, so.
I'm sorry, what?
Remember you and I talked and you were going to talk about EQ.
EQ, yes.
So important.
Yes. So, Miriam ma'am and I had brief discussions about the EQ. It's emotional intelligence. What I feel about EQ is we need to see ourselves that for any perspective, for example, job, it's our belief system that what you see this object, maybe it's a job, for example, or maybe it's money, finance, or relationships, or anything. The way we feel about that, that type of energy we attract. For example, if you find that finding a job is a challenge, no matter what, there is a hiring manager, even as your friend, even your own company, your parents' company, or whatever it is, you will not get a job. Because your emotions towards the job is, you already defined that it is difficult. And you want to attract more of difficulties. And I'm a true believer of a law of attraction as well. So I used to visualize what I would like to become. I just close my eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and I just see that I'm a leader of product manager. And I'm doing really great and things like that. And after I just open my eyes, I kind of really with so much of energy that yes, I can do it. And it tells me that if I can daydream about it, if I even think about it in my dreams, then I can at least do the efforts to make it real. But if I don't do about it, not even in my dreams, how can I get that peace? So emotional intelligence is your equation with anything. It could be anything, and that plays a huge role. But it is really funny thing I would like to share here is we were taking interviews. It was on the Zoom call. I was asking her some coding questions. I was interviewing for the software engineer interview. It was a Zoom call, but somehow I was getting a kind of the negative vibrations from the interviewers. I feel like there is something wrong. I don't know what is wrong. And I have a back-to-back interviews. No doubt she did above average, it was fine. And after that I have a second round of interview, and the second candidate, she was super graceful, full of energy, super happy, really good smile on her face, and she did even little less than the first candidate. I shared my feedback that the first one was more technical and things like that, the second one was with this, and I just provided the feedback whatever I have observed. As a result, it's not just me, but entire interview panel, somehow they like the second candidate more compared to the first one. Why? It depends how you present yourself, whether you are really good, approachable or not, like whether you are a good team player or not. There are so many things that comes as a full 360 degree of yourself. And the emotional intelligence plays a huge role that boosts your confidence and your equation with that subject.
You know, you're very self-motivated. I have 4 kids, right? None of them are the drive, you know, the motivation. So I think, you know, I think you will do very well in your career because, you know, you have the drive.
Yes.
And you kind of analyze it.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things you listed was having a good mentor.
Yeah.
And that's very important actually.
Yes.
And sometimes that actually makes most difference.
Yes.
Because a lot of things is beyond your control.
That is true.
Yeah, having a mentor, because a lot of times self-advertising is not as good as someone else says, you know, this person is good.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes you need the luck.
That's true.
Yeah,
Luck is a
but
big
you
factor.
have to be motivated because a lot of people are not motivated, just like my kids. You know,
You don't beat them enough.
Bring them here.
You should have had them here and listen to me.
Come back for second session.
So I think you can do very well. You know, I think you have the, you know, all the right ingredients.
Yes.
You know, it's really impressive.
But I want everybody to see that how much she has invested in herself. That is the things that you have to really pay attention.
Yeah.
Understanding what's needed out there, but thinking, do I have it? Can I get it? Sometimes you cannot, right? And I think that your approach, and I told a couple of people, you're very proactive, and that's the main thing. If you don't wait for some disaster and then do something, it's still, you know, probably you're going to make it there. But if you're proactive, you see those things. There's law of attraction. I think maybe some of you are hearing it for the first time, but it's been around a long time, right? So the idea is you put yourself on the way of the things you want, and then it will happen. But if you stay home, isolation is dream killer, right?
That's true.
Seriously, so isolate yourself.
Yeah, Monica.
So since the students are here, depending upon their in different stages of their study at the university, so as and when if they want to reach out to you, what would the best way they could connect with you? You learn more, or even some could be good, very good technical skills, and could be even part of your team in the future. So what would you recommend them to do?
Yeah, so I'm definitely available. Feel free to connect me on the LinkedIn. I'm really active there. And I also do participate in a volunteer mentorship with women in product. There are a few groups that I have enrolled for. So whenever I have opportunities, I usually go there as a speaker and give my experience, and even I do the mock interviews and everything. So if people wants to connect with me, LinkedIn is the first place. Feel free to connect there. And I'm definitely happy to help. As you know that really into giving back to the community. I got tons of help from the community, no doubt, just not with the mentors. Minimum I got help from more than 60 to 70 people as who are the leaders in the product. Not just within a Walmart, but in general, working with the different companies. I got chance, do you have 20 minutes? Can you take my interviews? There was one product leader at Facebook. He's doing really well doing podcasts and everything. I reached out to him and I asked, I'm really beginner in this product management. Can I learn something from you? Because I'm seeing you as a good product leader. He said that, Priyanka, 8 to 9 is my helping hours. Call me at 8 o'clock. We will talk for 15 minutes. And trust me, I adopted the same thing. I'm trying 8 to 9, walking and on call, taking calls, helping others, and it feels so good. My ex-colleague at HP, he was trying to make the transition from QA to product, and he got the product manager. He became the product manager, so taking his mock interviews and everything, and I feel that I see the results in front of me, that I'm helping somebody in their career growth, and they are getting into the jobs. So it's like friend or friend of friend, and oh my God, now I need to make sure that I have 10 minutes for each person so that I try to help as much as possible. Because even that 10 minutes change the entire process. So LinkedIn, and feel free to connect for the session.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there any book that have inspired you in your whole life or in your this journey?
Any book?
That you have read, or any other resources that has, changed your mind or?
Okay. Instead of book, I usually read the books which are more of a technical, as well as the books that are more of a product management books that I have read. But through COVID, I have started listening more of audiobooks, and books from Oprah. I like her books most. Apart from that, there are some spiritual books that I usually try to listen in terms of how to reset your brain. Those type of podcasts I usually listen. On YouTube, I enroll for some of the YouTube channels like Abraham Hicks and also Sri Akashna, those type of Sadhguru. Those are basically like at least spending few minutes in a day as a mental hygiene. So the mindset that I had before was we do brushing for brushing, taking a bath for physical hygiene, but we don't do anything for mental hygiene. So listening to any platform that you feel that this is what something that connects to you, find that and listen to that for at least 10-15 minutes. I used to do it when I'm even cooking or doing some cleaning or anything, just having the headphones on, and I do more of a listening, and that helped me.
I've been waiting for questions and all that, But one thing that is really important that Priyanka mentioned twice, but I don't know if you caught it or not, and I have to tell my students several times too, even adults sometimes they don't realize this, is that you have to try, okay? I have students who apply for a job and say, Professor, I sent out 20 resumes, nobody responds to me, I'm giving up, okay? I will keep on trying, right? Your chance is 10%, 20%, 30%, there's still a chance, but if you don't try, what is your chance? Zero, right? So 10% divided by 0 is still infinitely better than 0. So yeah, even adults, they said, oh, it's probably not going to work. The chance is working 10%, why bother? But if you don't bother, your chance is 0, it's not 10%. Okay, that's very good that I like to kind of re-emphasize, because I told my students that all the time too. And one question I do have is that when people apply for a job, right, the job application process is such a painful and difficult thing. So they want to work. Once they find a job, they want to work there for years and years, right? When I started HP too. When they first hired me, oh, welcome to HP. This is where you're going to work for the rest of your life. Yes. You're retired.
That is true.
That was a tradition, but it didn't happen that way because as it's mentioned, laid off happens and all those things. And it's not your fault. You can be the best you could, but the project gets canceled, your position is gone. right? So you have to expect that. But my question is that when some people have expectations to work for a long time, but you have transitioned between 5 different companies.
Yes.
What drives that, and was that like, what do you learn from these job transition? Do they expect to work at one place for 10 years, or do they expect?
Yeah, that's really good questions, and
people.
Yeah. So this is the questions that usually people ask me whenever I go for the interviews. They say that you work in your past company for 2 years. Why you would like to change? And the reason for that is, whenever we have this type of switch, like for example, you have seen that I work for 5 different companies. There are the switch which is it's not just one intention which is responsible to make the switch. That I want to grow more career, or maybe I'm looking for the better compensations, and that's why I'm changing the role. That is not true at all. There are many factors involved. For example, like change from Amazon to Quicken was, I have a young daughter. She was like 8-9 months by the time. Commute to San Francisco, taking 3 hours. I was looking for some place where it should be a drivable distance. Reason for me, the motivation for me to change the job. At HP to Amazon, it was a situation that my position got impacted. I had to find another job. So things like that. I'm just giving you example. For each stage, I had the motivation to change the job. But what I would recommend, as far as if you are happy with your current team or current company, the way you are getting paid, the way the product or project that you're working on, if you are improving your skills, you are seeing that you are really worthy enough here in your current role, you can grow more, you can see your growth in the current team, then this is the right place to be in. Why people change? There is a reason that they want to try something else, or they want to grow in that career ladder, maybe looking for a promotion in this current team. They spend like 3 to 4 years and still there is no hope for the promotion. Then they change the company. They are getting paid less compared to the market we have outside. It's better to change. So every time there should be a motivation, and I see that as a contrast. And contrast is that basically motivates you to introduce the change. So throughout my journey, I had the contrast. Like from Quicken to eBay, it was like I was looking for a H1 sponsorship. And Quicken was a startup. They do not have any immigration lawyers who can support this. So I have to look for the opportunity. At eBay, I clearly mentions that, hey, can you sponsor my H1? Then only I want to join, because I don't want to leave my job at Quicken. I was promoted and everything, good manager, everything was working well. Why should I change the startup? So similar to that, what I'm trying to convey here is make sure you are with the right environment. The great analogy that I have is, if you have a plant, you put in the pot, you put the soil and everything. If plant is not growing, what will be the first thing that you will do? You will change the environment. Either you will change the soil, either you will change the timing of the water or something. You will change the direction of the wind or the sunlight. Though similarly, we have like all the perspective, whether you have work-life balance, are you getting the proper pay, are you getting the project that you really want to work on, is there career growth there? If answer is yes, 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 if your plant is growing, then stay in the current team and the current company, otherwise it's a time to change. Sure. Yeah. Consider.
That's a great analogy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
we have at the end.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what most of us do. Okay, then
Yeah,
let's
and it's not like being a selfish here, because while you are growing, your team is also growing. While you are growing, your company is also growing. So while an employee grow in that career, it is a good sign for the company as well. So we are not becoming a selfish here. We are definitely helping ourselves, and as a byproduct of it, we are also helping the company. If you are not happy, definitely you will not perform well, and company will not get the value out of it. Yeah.
How big is your current team now? How many people are you leading?
Oh wow! So I have 3 teams, and team is Bangalore, here in Sunnyvale, and also in India. And each team size is around 12 engineers. Yeah, so 3 teams, each is around 12 engineers,
So
and
you
I'm a
pretty
product
much have
manager.
to work around the clock.
I'm sorry?
You have to work long hour.
No, so yes, I have to work long hours, but I usually make sure that I have a right work-life balance. I have talented program managers, and that is again the good thing that I have. So I make sure that I work during the US time, like my meeting starts usually 8 and I usually end by 4:30 or something. And alternate weeks while I have sprint planning or something, I usually be up usually in the evening time for like 1 hour or so. But it's good that I usually cover my meetings with the India team and everything early in the morning. And I have a good program managers who usually manage more of a scrum, and during the daytime I usually sync up with them. So I'm a strong believer of setting the right work-life balance so that I can enjoy my time with my family as well. Yeah.
And I don't want to extend much longer because
Yes.
we past the time, but
No.
one thing that you mentioned earlier too is that don't get too comfortable with your job, and that is true, okay?
Yes.
Once you get a job, I mean, you said I work hard and all that, but as we know, layoff happens, and even how hard you work, and once they cancel a project, your job is gone. So you have to keep on working hard and make sure that you get yourself known. A lot of times, Asian people or we are quiet, right? We don't say much. We just do our job, and we don't really talk much. And so your managers might not know that you are good, you're smart, because you didn't say anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so as you know, once you get more involved in the meeting, you provide your ideas, they know that you're smart, they'll keep you. For me too, when I worked at HP, I changed my team 3 times. Why? The project got canceled.
Yeah.
But my manager made sure that I get a position. Either if he's going to a different team, you keep me, or he can introduce me to a different team, because he knows that I do a good job. So you don't get too comfortable with what you're doing. That's okay, I get a job, I just keep on doing. You just have to keep like trying to get yourself known.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see that every year talent is coming in the market. If you will not sharpen your skills, how will you maintain the role? Because we have more people around ourselves who can also deserve this role. But you are the one who basically believes in yourself. You feel that this is really worth it, and it's a win-win situation for the company as well as for you. But if we get comfortable not learning anything new, then it's a big loss for a personal as well as professional growth.
Thank you.
For sure.
No, the reason I was laughing is because I work at HP too. And I used to do orientation for new employees.
Yes.
Unlike what Dr. Bushi was saying, I guess at the end, we used to say, welcome to HP, start looking for your next job.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, it was so scary. I mean, they're all sitting like this, and you see slowly they're going down. And some of them would raise their hand and say, what? I just got to
You just got
do you know something that I don't know?
Oh my God.
I said, no, I don't know anything, but what I'm saying is you are responsible for your career.
Yes.
We are not going to come tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, there's a job for you over there, please go on this one.
Yeah.
Nothing like that is going to happen.
I feel like while we are helping others, for example, I'm a product manager and I have gone through so many interviews, and especially I got failed so many times. Even internal transitions, I wasn't able to crack a single round of interview in the beginning. So now I'm at the stage that I'm helping others, taking their mock interviews. So I'm still into that, I'm still exercising that muscle. So I highly recommend that even once you get the job, see you got help from somebody and now you are part of change. You have to return back to the community, and it's a good thing to do. While we are returning back, we are still getting something from that process, that we are still sharpening our, exercising the same muscle. And I will definitely going to continue with the same process because it's helping me out.
Okay.
Thank you so much.